In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends podcast.
You know, like on week 2 after you shave your balls and you just kind of get like prickly pears?
You mean the stage where I'm Velcroed to my boxer briefs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nice.
It's nice at the end of the day.
Right?
It's so satisfying.
It is.
I'm going to have to disagree. Not my favorite stage.
Scott, why don't you and I go to the bathroom and I'll turn you into Moaning Myrtle? It's only gay if you want.
I'm going to go with the hard no.
Well, I mean, you could. I'm just saying, because it is. What day does this come out again?
Wednesday.
Oh, it's Wednesday. We're in our circle. We got sticks in our hands. We got drinks on the table. That means we can only do one thing. John's not here to say it, but Jazz, you sure as fuck are. What are we about to do?
We're about to fucking masturbate.
That's right. It's time for the Freedom Friends Master Debate, our favorite time of the week. We get a random topic from our producer, Justin, and we make a mockery of it every fucking time. We are
Speaking of masturbating, I'll
Sans.
be right back.
Oh, yep. He's going to go pump one out real quick. We are Sans of John tonight, but we are joined by our good friend, Big Jim, who is always a good time and a good addition on the show. Justin, do we want to wait for Jazz to come back?
Yeah,
before you give the
Let's
caveat something.
it'll take like 10 seconds. He's got a very small bladder.
It's all come.
Oh,
It's all come.
Shit, it might take 30 minutes then. I'm not real sure.
Oh no, he
He's quick?
prides himself on his fastness.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
dude, he had a production company called Quick Like a Bunny, Q Lab.
Oh,
That's why.
okay.
Like,
All right.
yeah, he's already cleaning up right now.
Nice.
Like, that's how fast he is.
See, he's there.
See, there he is. I'm telling you, Quick Like a Bunny was not just a name; it was
A lifestyle.
it was an adjective. It was a description.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, he's back.
Justin, what you got for us?
I piss
All right,
like a
boys.
All right, boys.
Often and quickly.
Guys, it wouldn't be the Freedom Friends if we didn't talk about our number 1 sponsor, Warfighter Tobacco. Obviously, you guys have seen us all smoke them. We're here to talk about a quality product that everybody can enjoy. The great equalizer, as we've called it, the Warfighter Tobacco Stick. And it's not just cigars. They've got humidors, travel humidors, cutters, lighters, everything you need to get started on that journey. So check out warfightertobacco.com and use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet, sweet 15%. If you want to know my personal favorite, I'm a 762 Field guy. I like that Sumatra, real nice and even keeled cigar. Great for us beginner smokers, right? And I'm told that these taste even better when you're listening to the Freedom Friends podcast. Now, back to the show. This episode is brought to you by Grill Your Ass Off. It's no secret, we're all middle-aged dudes who love barbecue. Grill Your Ass Off is our main go-to for our spices. That's what we use, man. Whether you're doing burgers on the grill, steaks, or my personal favorite, a little bit of pork belly burn ends, right? They've got you covered on all of that. They also have salsas. They also have seasonings and spices. They got beer salts. They've got everything, man. Check them out. GrillYourAssOff.com/Freedom Friends Podcast, or use the code Freedom Friends Podcast at checkout.
So I want to know, what's something you want people in foreign countries to know about the United States?
Stay the fuck out.
Jesus. God damn.
God damn, Scott.
Well, that was quick.
Sorry.
You sound like Kamala. Don't come. Don't come. And then Trump. I'm going to come.
No, I've been seeing a bunch of stuff about people from foreign countries kind of looking in, and
Well, it depends which foreign country.
You need to stay off the fucking the Reddits and the goddamn.
Yeah. Like if you watch the news, that's not America.
well, that's
No.
why I figure this is a good question for us.
Yeah. Okay,
like
so-
real normal Americans.
One of the things, so there's a guy on TikTok that I've seen recently he's a British guy, and I want to say his TikTok handle something like Brit in America or something.
Oh, I watch those two guys.
Yeah.
The two guys, yeah.
And he goes around and he I wouldn't say he defends us, but he advocates, because everything he's grown up knowing and hearing about America, he's like, it's all fucking wrong, man.
Yeah.
all of it's wrong. You
Well,
know
what did he
So-
grow up hearing?
Well, it's just like I don't know, like Americans are.
Well, that everything
fucking-
here is violent. Everything here is da da da.
Yeah.
da, da, da.
We don't travel.
You know, but one of the things he said about that, he goes, it's true. He's like, what people in other countries, like most Americans don't have passports. And it's like, yeah, because every fucking state you go to is like going to another passport.
Yeah.
He's
Our-
like, I can
our-
leave my house in
Our
London.
our country is bigger than your continent.
Yeah. He's like, I can leave my house in London and be in Germany in 2 hours and be in France in an hour and a half. And, you know, and he goes, I can't do that in
On
America.
a ferry.
Yeah, right? like he's
Right, channel.
In
He's
a
like-
ferry.
I can't do that in America. You know, you drive 2 hours. Sometimes you're just in another county.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, I just got my new passport.
Yeah, they're fancy now.
Yeah,
When I lived
they're
in,
different.
The picture card's like a credit card.
yeah, they're awesome.
Thick as fuck.
Yeah,
And I
dude.
was like,
It's different now.
Yeah,
but
Haley's got
I'd
one
had
of
mine
those.
for a while.
Yeah. John,
So I have the old, just all paper one. And
Yeah.
I got this one, and I was like, you know what was dope though? Because you have to send in your old passport when you get the new
yeah,
one.
they sent it back.
They give it
I
back
was
to
like,
you.
fuck, all my stamps are gone.
Yeah.
And they sent it back, and it had a hole punched in it, but I got all my stamps back.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey.
Yeah, I did the same when
Somebody at the government was like, hey, people
people like these.
kind of like the fact that all their, because I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, there's a lot of
Well,
weird fucking
I
countries
can't-
in there that I'd like to keep.
I can't remember dates. So I'm like, when was at the factory last? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The only visa that I that constantly pissed me off in my old passport was my Afghan visas because they took up a whole fucking page. It was like a whole ass sticker.
Now that
Oh, really?
Page.
that passport I had
And it was annoying.
that passport I had to give back.
That's your.
Well, so
I had to give.
when I was
But you went as a contractor.
Yeah.
so I had to have a civilian one.
When
I had my black one,
yeah.
that one was different.
When I went, my red jacket one.
I had that before too.
And
I had to
I-
give that one back too.
Whenever I was in
That one
the
back.
Middle East, I never had a passport.
They'd rather let you keep your fucking weapon than fucking.
Right.
like-
Dude, they will
Yeah.
freak the fuck out on that red passport.
Yeah,
The black passport, you don't. They just walk up and they go, "You're not using this right now. We hold on to this."
yeah, no.
and it's like
My
okay,
red one, because the
Yeah.
red
All
one
right,
comes with.
explain the difference.
Okay, so red
I
is
can't.
the red. Red is the. You can explain the passport.
It's diplomatic.
It's a diplomatic one.
Red is a
red.
diplomatic
Okay, yeah.
passport. Black is a. So the black passport is that you are DOD, and you are DOD typically small group, and you're going in. So you're flying civilian. You go through a civilian airport, but you're there for
It's a
DOD
hold harmless,
purposes.
though.
So you get a black one, and they're typically red. Though is the whole if you have a red passport, that's essential. That's diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
That's
You get immunity.
The shit I'm gonna do
You do with the black one too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
to an extent.
Well, the black one,
The red one,
you're more than likely there to do things of ill repute.
yeah. So the black one, the red one though, you get.
I'm
the,
here and I'm gonna fuck your
Oh,
country.
she's here.
Yeah, I'm here. Fuck
The
you
red
up.
one, you don't have to. So the black one they only hand you when you're traveling, and then you land and they take it back from you.
Yeah.
The red one you keep on you, and it's a
Yeah.
and technically speaking, you're not supposed to travel on it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to still have your blue jacket.
Yeah.
Now the black one, while you're in that country, you have it, but you don't even open it. Like if they're like,
No.
I need to see your passport,
You
you,
just
go
hold it
like this, they're like,
The red one does it too. If you hold up a red passport, they're all just like, "Yep, that's not my problem."
yep.
I might escort it through back doors.
But they take it
side
from you?
things and security.
When you get back to the States, when you fly back, usually through Dover, usually, or
They sign it in and out.
there's a guy who's just like, I'll take those. Thank you. Thank
Now
you.
the
Thank you.
the
Like,
red one,
red one you take home.
the red one-
But when you get out of the military,
you have to give it.
they are fucking very
Yeah.
fucking adamant that you give that back.
The red one is
It's-
is pretty hardcore. Like
It's
I've
the only email you'll get from the like fuck you, you're retiring. Good. Where's my red fucking passport?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, here.
Because it's
Yeah.
State Department
Yeah.
and they're bored.
Yeah.
That's my theory on that is
Yeah.
that they're bored.
no the red one carries gravity. Like that thing is it's spicy.
The red one's
Yes.
the red one's nice.
The red one is literally
So if I see Americans in another country entering the country I'm entering,
and they break out a red passport.
oh, Justin, I got the keys. Yeah, and they bust out, and I see a black or red, and I need
They
to,
can go places you can't go.
I need to buy them a
Yes.
a-
You want them to be your friend.
yeah. Okay.
if you see a black passport, You probably shouldn't see them. That's
like-
it's usually agency sponsored.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Yeah.
hey man,
Jess, can I get that lighter? This is shitting the bed again.
Yeah, just don't leave it on the table.
I mean, you could be anybody with the red passport, but generally speaking, you get to do fucking cool guy shit.
red.
Not fucking around in the airport.
Red is a. So black is
Black, you don't go through regular channels.
yeah. Red, you don't go through the regular check either, but they don't take the red. They don't. You don't have to check the red one back in.
yeah,
The red one you can just keep. I had a red one on me when I went through Chicago and was carrying sensitive items with me, and was going using my standard just military ID and whatever. And then I went and I had the sensitive items and they wanted to pull my red one. There you go.
Yeah.
And see the black one says diplomatic.
Yep.
See official maroon cover.
service is gray. Okay.
So, also issued to U.S. military personnel when deployed overseas. Period of validity, generally 5 years from the date of issue. So maroon cover, that's what we're calling red, is the maroon cover. And that's what Congress people and all that kind of stuff take.
The black one.
Black is diplomatic. And
Doesn't get handed out to very many folks.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
but
president has a black one.
they don't last
That's
very
what
long.
it's saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
The red one is what you'll see most military carrying. If they're carrying something beyond just their blue one, they don't give them to everybody.
Yeah, most of the time
Dependence.
traveling on orders anyway.
So
you know.
John had a red one for a while because he was a dependa.
Yep.
Scroll down.
No. Even as it was she government service?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he probably had a red one. But I had my red one on me when I was in Chicago, and they literally went and popped the glass door and just bypassed security and let me through and shit. And I was like, hey, this is handy as
all the
fuck.
time. It was so nice.
Yeah, red's handy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're maroon. What
Any of them are handy. I mean, blue's standard. The other ones just handy to have. Just nice.
I'm not gonna lie, totally cool with the fact that all I have is a blue one now.
Fucking I.
It's,
Fucking I.
It's fucking nice. Fucking chicken nuggets.
Yeah, you got chicken nuggets.
What was our debate?
What do you
What do you
oh,
want other
other countries-
countries to know?
Oh.
We have better passports.
Well, like, you go back to the. I want other countries to know
The Big Mac.
Fuck yeah.
that if you ever try to invade
Sweet
the United
woman.
States,
Sniper.
we will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like the civilian population will fuck you up.
On the flip side of that, if you come here as a foreigner, as a tourist,
We
we'll
will-
also show you the best time you've ever fucking seen.
Exactly. Like the Marines, no greater friend, no worse enemy, right?
Yeah.
If you're a foreigner and you come to the United States, if you have ill will, I think the same can be said.
Our hospitality and our protection are equally as aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's well said. That's well said.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one thing you need to know about this country. Our hospitality and our protection are equally as aggressive.
But you're right. If you show up here with like a thirst for life and a curiosity, and you want to see
Yeah.
the country, bro, fucking bring it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like we will show you the time of your life,
Yeah.
and no one else will fuck with you. We will make sure that we will be the safest you've ever been. You will have the most fun you've ever had. But if you fuck me,
Yeah.
make no mistake, they'll never find your fucking body. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I know,
You know-
I know a guy with a gator farm.
But-
That's all I'm saying.
Like I love it when I go to Vegas and the taxi or Uber driver is Iraqi, right? Because we can have a little banter back and forth, right? Like there's no ill will, right? Some of the worst things in my life has happened to me in Iraq. I know that that's like a small percentage of people, and like you get into a taxi or whatever, and you have the conversation with the guy, and it's usually a good time. Like there's no ill
The
will.
weirdest part is when you're in Iraq and get in a taxi and it's piloted by an American guy. And you're
That's
like,
weird.
what the fuck?
Well, I've never gotten into a taxi in Iraq.
No.
I had an interesting conversation.
Ran a couple over.
in an airport. Where the fuck was I? It was recently.
That was Baltimore.
It was at Newark.
Oh,
It was at LaGuardia. I was in LaGuardia, and I'm sitting next to a guy, and I notice on his bag he's got an Iraqi flag, and I was like, "Are you Iraqi?" He's like, "Yes, I am Iraqi." And I was like, "Shakumaku." He's like, "You speak Arabic?" I'm like, "Not really."
I've got you for that.
and he's like, I was like, "Where in Iraq are you from?" And he's like, "Originally from Basra." I was like, "Oh, I've been to Basra. I've been there." And I was like, "How old are you?" And he's like, "I'm 38." And I was like, "Ooh, okay. What were you doing around 2003-ish, man?" And he was like, "I was in the Republican Guard." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, dude." I was like, "Well, I was in the Marines." And he was like, "We were fighting." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." But we had a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking surreal to think that there are enemies that were former enemies of ours that are out there.
Yeah.
And to have the conversation with them, I probably had a 30-minute conversation with this guy. And you know what? They're exactly like us.
Yes.
They're veterans.
Well,
the same shit.
They're
not mad at
you
us.
see the World War II veterans. Like there was a World War II pilot that got shot down a Japanese pilot.
Yeah.
Right. And like a couple years ago they met
Yeah.
and they had the conversation and they're
Yeah.
introducing their families to each other.
Yeah.
You know, like that's awesome, right?
Like he told me like he surrendered to Marines outside of Baghdad.
yeah.
He was like, "We were overran, man." He was like, "There was no win in this fight. We knew it. You know, we couldn't find any leadership. All of our leadership had fled.
Yeah.
It's now it's just like imagine like a bunch of like fucking E4s, E5s sitting around, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck this, dude." Like,
But when he surrendered, he probably wasn't treated poorly.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all. And he actually even made mention of that. He was like, "I don't think you would have gotten the same
Fuck no.
courtesy from us." He's
No.
like, "But Americans did me right." He goes, and that's why he's like, "I'm an American citizen now."
Yeah.
He's like, "I live here. My family lives here."
Yeah.
He married an American woman. He's like, "I fucking love America." He goes, "I even thought about joining the military here."
Right.
You know,
Not sure that would work.
he wants to go to the National Guard.
Yeah.
He lives in like Ohio, some middle
Yeah.
of the fucking road state, right? And he's like, "Yeah, I thought about joining the National Guard there because, I want to do my part too."
Well, you know
And
how
I was
many
like, "Bro, that is a unique perspective."
Yeah.
Man. Like,
you know how many times though, like we captured somebody and we had them in our I don't know, what do you call it, your confinement before we turn them into the higher confinement, whatever, right? And you're just pulling guard on these guys, right? And there's 3 of you guards and there's 10 of these dudes, right?
Yeah.
And you just start talking to them. And they're the same, they're working for a government that doesn't give a fuck about them, same as us.
Mhm.
They
they're
were
not dicks.
they
They're
were-
really funny.
They were lied to. We were lied to. Like, I mean, it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally the same shit.
I think it really boils down to America is not as xenophobic as everybody tries to make it sound.
No, it's really not.
Like we,
Or as racist, or as homophobic,
Yeah.
or as anything. You
that's
know,
what xenophobic
Country's too big
means, buddy.
for that.
well, that was just specifically
Well,
for those guys.
Aren't the
They're not known as xenos.
aren't the hardcore Democrats really showing their xenophobia right now?
Yeah.
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 Actually.
Yeah, that's
So xenophobia
Weird,
is essentially
right?
you are scared of anything that's not you.
That tracks.
And this country really isn't built on that. We're built on the idea that you can come here and if you're willing to be part of America, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, this country was founded on the whole melting pot thing, but if you refuse to melt,
Yeah.
that's when there's a problem.
yes, yeah,
You have to melt. That's why, if you want to look historically, all these people that came in, whether it was
Big shout
Italians,
out to
Irish,
Caitlin Broom
everything
for
else, it's not a racist thing. It's we
Saved my life.
expected everybody to come over here
wonderful.
and melt, speak English, do those things. This guy wants to join the fucking army. Like, those are the things we want you to do. What we don't want you to do is not speak English,
form a jihad.
fucking close yourself off,
Yeah,
and then look down upon the country that's fucking helping you.
And please, for fuck's sake, get some family member to open a restaurant so that I can have whatever the fuck your food is.
Yeah, because it's probably awesome.
yes, your food without the dysentery would be great.
Yeah. It'd be amazing to see what
If I don't have to fucking take Cipro, that'd be fucking.
Yeah.
when fucking Cisco is dropping it off and you're not fucking using it from whatever river. The water isn't from the river that
Yeah.
runs through your city. That's really just your
Or the beef that's hanging in your street with all the flies over it
Yeah.
and the shit
If I
running
could come
down
to your
the road.
restaurant and not have to order it at burnt, like that would be fucking awesome.
See, we're funny in America.
How would you like it cooked? Burnt? Because I don't
Yeah.
trust anything.
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a shit ton of fucking anti.
Yeah.
Like whatever the red sauce was you put on the rice, I really appreciated that. I still don't know what this is, but
There's some Afghan food that was fucking phenomenal.
yeah.
No idea.
Oh, dude.
Like, come here and like you said, fucking melt. It like
You
that's
know,
the. We're not as xenophobic.
And you don't need
And we're-
to,
and
you don't
we're-
need
and
to
we're not
100% change.
No, don't
Just-
lose your culture.
Yeah.
Don't lose your heritage.
Just accept
But that's what
the fact.
That's
These
what
separate heritage is what makes it
Yeah.
awesome.
that's what makes our country awesome. Is that
Yeah.
you know, and everybody's like, well, you haven't traveled.
Don't-
I don't need
Just don't try
like-
to impose Sharia,
That's Sharia.
Sharia law
Real law.
on us when we're in our country. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
We have our own laws.
Yeah.
And that's where they need to stay.
Respect it.
Yeah.
Like, but bring your
It was
culture.
it was really cool to like talk to a guy who was a former combatant against us.
No, that's awesome.
And we just had a fucking really cool conversation. I can't
Yeah.
believe I forgot to tell you guys this. It happened like 3 weeks ago. Or
yeah,
some
that's
shit.
awesome.
And it was so fucking rad, man, just to sit there and bullshit with the guy.
Like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't shoot you.
Yeah, right. I was like, wait, no hard feelings. He's like, none, dude.
Yeah.
He was like, it's all good, man. Like he was just really a really cool, level-headed dude.
Did you go down the Saddam, like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mentioned that I had a couple friends
yeah.
who were the guys who found him, and he's like, he hit in a fucking hole.
No,
Pussy.
Uday Kuse for us, not Saddam.
Oh yeah. But we talked about. Oh, I told him I had Uday's watch, and he laughed. and I mentioned I was in Fallujah, and he's like, Fallujah used to be such a beautiful city. He's like, it was so beautiful. It was known as like the city of mosques. It was so gorgeous.
You look
Da-da-da-da.
at you look at the pictures in Iraq in like 1980.
Gorgeous,
Holy fucking shit!
dude. Even you want to see a bigger change? Look at fucking Afghanistan,
Yeah,
Kabul,
dude. Kabul was a fucking resort town.
it was
man.
green. The women were fucking wearing normal clothes.
yeah,
Yeah,
Nothing else. And
yeah.
Fucking.
Like,
and that's what Sharia law did to them. Now they live in the fucking Stone Age.
Tehran
Yeah.
was like that.
you know,
The Iranians.
like
normal.
All of
shit.
Iran's like that.
I know
Iran was like
Yeah.
shopping malls and modern city and education and the whole 9 yards. And then
Antifa.
they fucking put green on their flag and everything fucking changed.
Yep.
you know, I reference the Drinking Bros podcast a lot because I like Dan Holloway, right? He's got a lot of good points. And the other day I was listening, he's like, you know what? All of these countries that don't adapt to modern time, we need to not engage with them. Just cut them off from society, cut them off from the world. Just like either you catch up and you change, or we just leave you behind.
See, we would do that, but they have oil, and we really like that.
I don't know. like,
Either fuck.
like, are we reaping the benefits of their oil right now? I don't
No.
think so.
Not right now.
all of the countries that understand that oil is what makes all of their fucking money, they all play ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they all play ball. And it's like
Kuwait, UAE, fucking.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia and all that.
yeah.
Like, you know, yeah. Can you book a trip to Saudi Arabia? No, you can't. They don't want you there.
Really?
No, not a big fan of white people. In
Yeah,
Saudi
they're racist
Arabia.
as shit.
In all fairness, though, Saudi Arabia isn't really a big fan of anybody that's not a Saudi.
Yeah.
But like, that's not even a white people thing. They're just like, oh, you're
Yeah.
not from here?
Yeah.
Fuck off. But they will sell you their shit, and the only thing we really give a fuck about is the fucking go juice that they
Yeah.
fucking pull out of the ground. So it's just one of those. But that xenophobic mindset, you see it with like Russia. Russia has the largest underground reserve of oil on the planet,
Well, they cover
But-
like an eighth of the planet.
but
so,
Russia won't let anybody in.
yeah.
And so since they won't deal with any foreign body, they don't have the infrastructure to get the oil out.
Yeah.
So it just fucking sits there.
Yep.
And the rest of the world has just kind of gone, cool, be poor. Like we don't,
Yeah.
so we've done
Russians
it.
they've been straddling east and west.
Well, we keep shutting off all the fucking shit in Alaska too, because
Well, we like to do things like
'Cause we're retarded.
sell off our reserve and then not fill it.
yeah.
What?
Anyways.
It makes sense to you?
What do I want to tell other countries? Like, it depends which country, right? Like,
No, I'll blanket statement these. You know, like I mean, like everything we've talked about right now, that goes for everybody. You know, like I mean, it's just, you know,
Like, and I think when they think when we travel over there that we're gonna be like I used to go to Korea. I used to go walk around by myself, throw a backpack on, go down to the fucking markets, try to fucking
Sure.
speak bullshit fucking Korean to these guys, eat all their food. Fucking, we're not there to trash your shit. We're not there to take your shit.
yeah.
You know.
now, are there shitty Americans? Of
Of course.
Of
But that stereotype
I do have
not
one
as
for,
big as
I do have one for England though.
I was
Yeah.
going to say for France, but
You can't outdrink an American.
Yeah. Stop trying.
I know that's
no,
like
no,
this
don't
huge-
stop trying.
I know that
Don't stop trying because I haven't been there yet.
I
When I
know-
get there, I want you to try.
I know there's like this
I want to
big-
do this.
There's this big trend with the English thinking that you can outdrink an American. So Americans are going and visiting England and they're going into bars and going like, hey, let me get 3 pints. And you have these British that are going like, I'd be careful with that. That's not that shitty American beer.
Okay.
Bro, a pub ale's like 3.5%. All right. Like, pump your brakes. Your Budweiser level strength. Like,
Your fucking Bush League, homie.
yeah. But the
Quite
British,
literally.
for some reason, the British think they can keep up with Americans when it comes to drinking.
Yeah.
well,
Now, if I go and visit Ireland and some fucking dude who I can barely understand looks at me and goes,
You like Dags.
yeah,
You fancy yourself a drinker, huh?
you fancy yourself a drinker? I'm probably going to go,
let's try.
I'll go one
Let's
more own
try.
beer for a while.
Yeah, no,
not all night.
I'll do what I can to keep up. But considering that I know you're going to drink all night and just transition to Irish coffee by the next morning and I'm going to be passed out, but like, you got me. But the British,
Fuck out of here.
fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I have limited experience with British people. Our friend Mikey,
Mikey? Yeah.
definitely one.
Mikey's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Now he's one of those guys that doesn't really drink though.
Well, he's also not a
And,
dick.
and then he drinks fucking Jack Daniels.
Like he comes over here to like hang out and just like be buddies, you know,
what I really
and to
want,
lift heavy shit.
I kind of want because of what he did over there. I just like one day I just like somebody to start some shit with him
Yeah, right.
and watch him go absolutely fucking berserk through a fucking crowd of people. But other than that, he's the nicest.
I
guy.
went drinking with a British guy named Dunk. That was,
That's a great British
It's a
name.
great British name.
well, his last,
It's a great drinker name.
Duncan.
his last name was Duncan.
Oh,
And he's an SAS guy.
Nah.
And
Probably a good dude.
probably a good
and
drinker.
so when we'd become friends, he did a visit. I became friends with him. Then he left and he came back. He was like, "We're going drinking." I was like, "Cool." And he brought me presents. So he brought me a coin from the SAS, and it's in the case that says that it was commissioned by Her Royal Highness, like the whole. So it's actually like their true fucking
Nice.
coin. A lapel pin for all 4 SAS groups, not just the 3 that are listed, but it's got the lapel pin for the 4th group that doesn't exist. But he brought me a bottle of their booze. And I laughed my ass off because he hands me this thing. He's like, I brought you a bottle of the SAS whiskey. And it's a bottle of Woodford Reserve that has the Pilgrim's Prayer engraved on the back of it. And it is a fucking Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
That's what they use as their fucking,
That just shows you.
their whiskey.
well, at
They're
least
not
they have
stupid
good
either.
taste.
Well,
at
they're
least they have
not
good
stupid
taste.
Yeah.
So Dunk wanted to go drinking. And I was like, let's go. And I think he made it 2 rounds. And he was like, how you feeling? And I was like,
Well, we drink.
I haven't started yet.
I do,
Yeah.
bro, we're warm-up sessions. And he was like, well, what are we doing next? And I was like,
Shots.
there's more whiskey coming. And like, he's like, I don't know if I can. I was like, you fucking pussy. And he's not. I mean, this he was like a 20-year SAS operator. Like
They drink a lot of like I don't know, like
it's 3.5% beer.
They've got access to all this great fucking like scotch and shit, and they all drink fucking Jack Daniels. So.
Dude, my buddy Fez and I were in a bar in Okinawa, and there was these Australian dudes there. And these guys are like, oh, Yanks, let's fucking out drink these Yanks and da-da-da-da and all this. And we were drinking Kilkenny.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're like, oh, what are you drinking? I'm like, and Kilkenny's a cream ale, right? It's very, very similar to Guinness, same kind of consistency. It's not fucking
It's
heavy.
closer to Smittix.
Well, yeah, it's consistency wise though. Like
It's
when you pour a
thicker,
Kilkenny, it looks like a Guinness settling, type of thing, and only not dark at all, right? It's very, very blonde, right? And we were like, oh, are we racing? And we thought they were racing, and they're like, yeah, we'll race. And we're like, okay. And Fez and I, who are we're drinkers. All right. And at this point, this is like during my car bomb fucking champion status, right? Where I'm like, 1.03 seconds on a pint, roger that, right? So I'm like,
So you do that.
so we like cheers them and they start, and me and Fez just kind of give each other a wink and just glug, 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 boom. And they're like, holy fuck. And we were like, what? I thought you guys wanted to race. They were like, what the fuck, man? I was like, yeah, dude. Maybe not try to outdrink Marines. I don't know.
I went on to El Salvador and Africa with a British guy. And each country he wanted to go drinking. Now, El Salvador, when you order drinks there, you start ordering beer and they set a plastic rack at the end of your table.
Okay.
And you just put all the bottles back in the rack. Because the
Oh.
beer's weak as shit. So
Yeah.
you're just hammering these fucking things. And when you fill the rack, they put it on the floor and they put another one on top of it. Then it's like you can tell how deep into the night you are by the number of racks that are stacked up at the end of
Nice.
the table. And he was sitting there and he was like, and he's like Oxford educated. He's a barrister, like the whole 9 yards.
Well, he's
But
fancy.
He comes from money.
Yeah.
His parents have, like, this is that whole like, anytime you visit London, you can just stay in my flat when you're there because I'm rarely there. And I was like,
Right.
you're such a fucking twat. And 2 times though, in 2 separate fucking continents, 2 separate places, he wanted to go drinking. And every time I was like, okay, if we're going drinking though, we're going to find a local bar. Like we're not finding a tourist bar, we're finding a fucking local bar.
Yeah, we're not going to the hotel bar, bro.
And each time, and this dude's like, he's like 6'7", but my weight. Like he's just
Oh, the beanpole.
like, and
Yeah.
every time you'd see me just like holding on to him, like walking him out and being like, all right, like let's get you into the car. And, like it's a fucking and unlike shithole fucking beer. And he's just fucking hammered. And I'm like, you Brits need to fucking pump your brakes. Like you don't understand. The level of depression that Americans drink away
Dude.
is you're
We
not
just talked
prepared
about it on
for
the
it.
we just talked about it on the podcast, man. We have it so good here that we make up our own fucking problems.
Yeah.
And then we drink those problems that we made up away. We'll make up problems just to go drinking.
The
Like,
problems we have is like walk into a liquor store and go like, fuck, I don't know what to buy. Yeah, like this is
it's so hard having all these choices. Oh.
Yeah.
That's the truth, man.
Michelle and I went to Costa Rica, and our first night we stayed like right by the airport, and it was not touristy at all. We walk into this local bar, and it was the size of this room, and we started drinking, and these other guys, we were buying rounds, they were buying rounds, whatever, right? And it was just whatever the fucking Costa Rican beer is, I don't remember. But yeah, they got really shit faced, and we just walked home normal.
Well, your wife is a freak of fucking nature.
She never gets a hangover.
She's never got a hangover.
Now, she gets very shit faced.
Oh, she'll get. Oh, I've seen that.
yeah, she'll get fucking hammered.
I've seen her banged up pretty good.
Yeah, but never a hangover. And
Which
it's
is
great.
just so not fucking fair.
We've been married for forever, and I've seen her with a hangover once,
Like, that is.
one time.
What did it take?
So she got done doing taxes for our gun school
Oh,
one
there
year.
you go. That'll
That's a problem to drink for.
And the night we wrapped up the taxes, we went to the wing place,
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and she started drinking Bloody Marys, and she had, before we left, she was throwing up,
I can imagine.
That's funny.
and
That's
she
funny.
drank a lot of Bloody Marys. And we even talked I don't know how it happened, but we walked out with a to-go Bloody Mary.
Huh.
it happens more often than people think. Like, didn't I tell you when I went to that hibachi grill and I ordered that fucking tower of beer? Because they had like the fucking
Okay.
128 ounce
Right.
tower of beer. It's like that giant pipe and they bring it to you and it's got a tap on the front of it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't drink the whole thing.
Well, yeah.
And so she looks at me and she goes, do you want it to go? And I was like, yeah, I want it to go. So she went and got
That's so
2 of
illegal.
those fucking the roses speed pours that like sweet and sour sauce comes in, like for make a margarita, and they were empty, and they just filled the speed pours full of fucking Kirin Ichiban and just sent me home. with like 64 ounces of fucking beer. And I was like,
No, you paid for it.
they
Yeah,
stuck,
but it's so illegal.
they stuck it in a plastic bag and tied a knot on the top of it and just sent me home with all of my beer.
Well, they
I was
changed
like,
all those fucking rules in the state of Texas. I think you can actually do
Well,
that.
that was
You could do that
COVID.
now, but that was way before then, right? Right? Like that wasn't. Pre-
You,
that was-
like
you
2018,
cannot.
yeah.
There's 100%. You cannot
I know.
leave the bar with an open beer,
Sure.
pour it in a to-go cup, and walk out. There's
Well,
you
that
can-
shit's changed, dude. Now we have like San Antonio now has drive-through daiquiri places.
I know.
Yeah.
Like that is a
but
they put the little paper thing on the end of your straw so you can't fucking drink.
Right. There's a piece of tape over
Yeah.
the hole.
what am I?
But it was in those,
what am I going to do till I get home?
Plastic mixer speed pours. They just like went and rinsed those things out and just filled them with beer for me.
That's hilarious.
See, I'll never,
It's really funny.
I'll never order a big beer like that because I like cold beer.
Yeah.
When it gets to warm beer,
Well, so those towers have like an ice pole. in the
yeah,
middle.
Oh.
they chilled
like-
the whole thing.
It's there's like an ice pole in the middle of them, so your shit stays cold
We
the
need to
whole
go.
way.
I
We
did
need to
not
go.
know
It's
that.
one of my favorite places to go to get like Chinese food, but it's called Kobe,
okay.
and it's super
Oh, is
good.
it the one off of
Pat Booker?
Pat Booker?
Yeah, fuck,
Bro,
dude.
their all-you-can-eat sushi is fucking legit.
Yeah.
I went there with Big Jared recently.
The new place by Long Shots on 3009.
Yeah?
It's a new all you can eat sushi. Very good.
Really?
The lunch is like $17. All you can eat sushi.
Yeah, that's like Kobe. Same kind of
Kobe's fried rice though.
tasty.
Oh, so fucking good, dude.
Tasty.
But I go and I sit at the fucking hibachi and they do all the fucking tricks
things?
and shit. They throw eggs and shit at you, and
Yeah.
it's fucking awesome.
Huh.
But yeah, I went there and ordered that. If they have you order it and it's just this fucking tower of beer, and you've just got your own tap. But I didn't finish it, so they sent it to them.
Awesome.
Speed pours.
That's fucking hilarious.
I threw it away because I was like, "What the?"
This tastes like lime juice. What the
You know,
fuck?
no, wasn't that. It was just like it was instantly flat because it
Yeah.
was. But
And then it got warm.
it was hilarious. They were like, "Do you want to take it to go?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do."
Let me see how you fuck this pig. I wanna-
Man, that is just curious. Bring it to me in like
I'll just take this whole thing.
yeah.
So after all we just discussed, the one thing we want to tell the rest of the world is don't fuck with us if we're drinking.
yeah, right.
Yeah, fuck it.
I mean, you might be able to outdrink some Americans.
Except if the Irish. We're not extending this challenge to you.
in the Scots.
In the Scots.
I'm not drinking with the Scots. If you're from either one of those islands,
I'll,
Yep.
I'll be honest. I got outdrink in Nicaragua.
was he a field worker?
It was a chick.
Was it a field worker?
Now, I showed up at this bar and I just like,
It was Indiana Jones's old lady.
I just sat, I just sat down at this table. They were having a birthday party, and I'm like, "Hola," you know. I sat down. I'm like, "Hey, can I hang out with you guys?" They're like, "Yeah, whatever." You know. Seriously, I had a great time in Nicaragua, and
I can just see Scott sit down. Hola.
the one chick was a bartender at this place, the bar I was at, but she spoke a little bit of English, and she wasn't working that night. It was her birthday,
Oh,
and
game on.
she's like, "I'll outdrink you," and I'm like, "Bitch,
No, you fucking won't.
please." She did. Somehow I wind up in an Uber on the way back to the hotel. And as soon as I open the door at the hotel, I'm throwing up everywhere. She outdrank me.
Wow.
I don't know if she lived. I can't remember. Like maybe I outdrank her, but I'm pretty sure.
She's the one that put you in the Uber.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the case.
What were you drinking?
Rum. Yeah, Florida
Yeah.
Con. Florida Con.
Oh yeah.
So here's the thing about rum drinkers, though. If you're not a normal rum drinker, where you don't just drink rum all the time, if that's not your drink,
Yeah.
you won't last with rum.
Well, and
It's a sugar content that you're not ready for.
I'm pretty sure everybody else at the table was drinking rum and Coke, and I was drinking rum on the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure. And when I showed up there, I wasn't sober. Like I already had drank.
So see, so
So-
did she win? There's variables.
There's variables, but from point A to point I'm fucking in an Uber, and I don't know how I got there.
At least you didn't puke in the Uber.
She won. Yeah, I don't think I did.
That's good.
I don't think so.
I always worry about because that's how you show your ass in a foreign country.
Yeah.
It's like you fucking get drunk and you vom inside like a car or in a hotel room or
Yeah.
something like, and you show your ass. That's honest to God why
El Salvador.
most fucking other communities and countries are like fuck Americans.
El Salvador. I was drinking at a bar on the side of the volcano. So San Salvador, the capital,
Mhm.
is built at the base of a volcano, and there's literally like a lava flow on one side. It's
Yeah.
like all hardened over and shit. And up on the side of the volcano, they have a restaurant. And the med students I was with were like, hey, we should go drink at this bar. And I was like, is it local? And they were like, yeah, like you have to know how to get there and the whole thing. So I was like, fucking A, let's go. So we get up there and we're drinking and drinking and drinking. And they're like, all right, it's time for the like mid-drink snack. And I was like,
Oh, I love
Yeah,
the
whatever.
mid-drink snack.
right?
Yeah.
So they bring it to me. And it's a bean and banana soup thing that had soft shell crabs in it. Like the whole, like it's a crab, it's like this big, and the
Yeah.
whole fucking crab's in it. And I almost lost it there because I was like,
Ugh, I don't like soft shell.
and I was like, what the fuck? Like it already looked thrown up in the cup.
It's like, did this crab die in its own shit?
I was like, what the fuck? They're like, no, it's a local delicacy. And I was like, now I think you're fucking with me. Because nobody looked at this and was like, you know what would be awesome? Beans and banana.
Right.
And throw some seafood in there. Like that's,
And down there, it's probably not banana. It's probably plantains.
I didn't eat it.
I don't
But
like.
literally the look and smell of it almost puked all over the side of a volcano.
Here's an
Maybe it's like a
unpopular.
secret, like soak up the booze thing.
Here's an unpopular opinion. I don't like plantains.
They're all
Oh,
Like
I do.
When I go
they're
down
done
to
right.
like
I like plantains.
the Honduras and all this, like everybody down there, plantains come with fucking every meal. And
Yep.
I'm like, I don't like these.
I also don't like
These taste
yucca.
like shit. I don't like yucca either.
Oh, I do too. I like yucca.
I don't like yucca.
Like I think plantains taste like nothing. It's like, hey, can we make bananas shittier? Let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's
that's what
fry,
it
let's
is.
fry a shittier banana.
Yeah.
All right. Like it's like just not a fan, man.
Yeah, so I don't like yucca.
Then again, I also think Nutella is the grossest shit on the planet.
I don't like it.
Yeah, those like poop in a jar.
Well, I think that's why we have fat kids in America because we started feeding them chocolate sandwiches.
It's hazelnut.
Like now, here's the thing though, is I do know that Nutella in Europe tastes better than it does here.
No, do you know we have fat kids in America?
GMOs?
You don't say fucking no.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, I'll give it to you if you shut the fuck up. Like, so we just give them whatever. It's just, here, just eat it. Just fucking, I don't care. Just go away.
If we have an obese child, we could be the victim.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. Like, but here's something you need to know if you come here. We don't parent here.
Not
we
anymore.
have them,
Some of
and
us
then
parent.
we figure out some way to let something else raise them.
All of my childs eat like fat kids, and none of them are fat kids.
No, they're not.
But they eat like it. Holy fuck.
Just yeah, but
Look, a kid just
that
eating a lot
metabolism
because
will
they're
kick. It'll
eating
catch
a lot
up.
because you're growing, I get. But like, God, we are just so about just absentee parenting. It's just somebody else will watch them, somebody else's problem. This will babysit them. This will shut them up. This will whatever. And it's like, you know, I'm glad you enjoyed the 2.5 minutes to make that fucking thing, but now you have 18 years of responsibility.
Well, we pay our taxes so that someone else can raise them. That's what public school
And
is.
that's why
That's the mentality, right? Like,
Sure.
well, I pay my taxes, so do your job, teachers.
For 6 hours a day,
Yeah,
yet you're missing 18 there.
yeah,
You got to be around for the other 18 hours.
sure.
Like, you don't get to
And
make that
all
somebody
you
else's
ha-
problem.
from my experience, all you have to do to have good kids is beat their fucking asses.
Yep.
When they fuck up, you beat their fucking asses. And then after you're done beating their ass, you have like an hour cool down period. And then you explain to them why you beat their ass.
Yep. You got to explain why.
You have to.
That's really important. That's
It
an
really is.
important step.
Yeah.
You have
Find
to
a-
justify that.
Find a bully.
Yeah.
they don't have
no,
those anymore.
No, there should. Yeah. And there should be bullies.
There should be bullying services. Just like,
We offered. That's why we bully your kids.
yeah, we bully your kid.
And you've never stopped us.
Fuck no.
Never once. I have sat in his pool and just talked shit to his kids. And he's just
Go
like,
get me a drink.
Now,
and Scott has literally been like, you heard him. And it's like,
Oh,
fucking-
yeah,
it- yeah, it's great.
Now-
John and I literally physically bully that kid. Like if there was a locker in this bitch,
He'd be
he'd get thrown
He'd
in
be it.
They'd fit
it.
because they're not fat.
It's great.
I'll give you an
I
example.
was at Scott's house one time and Scott was like, hey, go in the house and get me a glass, put this much ice in it, bring me this bottle. And I just went, yeah, fucker, me too. And Scott was like,
Yeah.
and just like pointed at me. And I was like,
but
fucking, you were almost convincing me to have a kid. This is fucking awesome.
but look, Austin, the child that does that,
Yeah.
right? He will every 15 minutes ask me if I need anything.
That's true.
Yeah. He's a sweet kid.
He is.
He's a good
He likes helping.
I like him.
Oh, the oldest for my birthday. I gave him $100. I gave him $100 bill. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
don't fucking.
Now he's 22.
Yeah.
Just a preferences.
Yeah.
So we're at the bar.
And my glass, nor was anybody else's glass ever fucking not full.
Now I had to correct him a couple times.
Oh, I know. Well, he's not like the little guys. The little guys are a little bit more fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Johnny on
But
the
I'm
spot.
like,
he's
I'm
got
like,
too
look.
much. He's got too much initiative, not enough judgment.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, don't ask Jim. Just make sure it's never empty. Don't ask.
Once he got it,
And then he figured it out. Yeah.
Semper Paratus.
Yeah, we.
So I'll give you an example. Today, my son John was supposed to have a field trip. He didn't go on it. He pulled some shit at school. And they were like, well, and his teacher was like talking to Haley. I was out of town, obviously, and she was like, they were like, well, we want him to be included. And Haley's like, no. If he does shitty things, he doesn't get to do fun things.
Yeah.
This is how this works. And like the teachers were like, no,
That's what
this is how this is.
Yeah.
If you fuck up, that's that. You're not going to go do fun things. Like, so he didn't go to school today. And then so I had to call the transportation office, tell him to not pick him up, right? Because he rides the bus, and the bus stops right in front of our house. And I was like, hey. So I call him, and the lady's like, well, do you know what bus number he's on? I'm like, no, but it's the bus that goes to this school, this time pickup. That I know the route.
Yeah.
Well, do you know his bus driver's name? And I go, you're talking to Dad, right? It's like we don't fucking. I don't do this.
I had to drop my youngest
what
off.
the fuck are you talking to Dad about these specifics for,
So-
man?
My two kids go to different high schools.
I like
Yeah.
how your argument is because you pee standing up, you don't know who the person is that takes your child.
No,
I
that is my argument. That is 100% my
Jazz.
argument. 100%.
I had to take Austin to school the other day.
You took him to the wrong school.
No, I had to ask him what was his school's name.
Yeah.
Like, which school do you go to? All right, I got you.
Yeah, that moms handle that shit, man. And like even the school, they never call dad. They call mom. Like if there are two numbers listed and one says mom, one says dad, they will never fucking call dad.
Yeah.
I am so far removed from that side, dude. Like I handle
That is
dad shit.
terrible.
Justin's
Yeah.
door, his door open.
That's just how it is. It's weird. But yeah, so I had to call him. And then the lady trying to be a fucking martyr is like, I guess I'll just look his name up. I'll have to look his name up. That's correct. You'll have to do your fucking job.
Yeah.
And call his bus driver and be like, hey, there's no pickup at this fucking place.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, sorry, you have to do your fucking job.
That literally.
Right? Like,
Wow.
super weird, man. Super weird.
But yeah, you're right. There's dads have no idea.
Yeah. Like, it's not dad level shit.
Mine did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for him. Like, I don't tell you. Like I used to. Like when the boys were younger and we were going through.
Was it your dad's
We don't-
job when he was with your mom?
My parents have been together since I was 2.
Okay. It's my point though. My kids have mom and dad.
Sure. But this is still
So-
another body that is responsible for your child for
Absolutely.
a very long period of time. So now if your wife's not available,
Then we do what Mikey just did. Yes,
I call the appropriate.
I don't know the bus
so
number.
then you call and get pissy with somebody else because you don't know the information?
Why should you know the bus number?
They're picking up your child.
So the bus number changes fucking constantly. First,
that
of
is
all.
true.
The bus number, they never have the same fucking bus.
It's not a fucking weapon. It's a fucking bus.
Yeah, like
he doesn't need to know his serial
they
number.
never have the same fucking bus.
It's
get it.
2 digits. It's
I
like bus
get it.
42.
He squared it away. He called. If the lady had said, "What's your kid's last name?" Oh, Fahey. Oh, he's on bus number 96. I'll just
That's
turn
all
that
she
off.
had to do.
That's all she had to do. And she
Like-
did it after he had to have a fucking stupid conversation with a retard.
Yeah, that's what happened. that's a good illustration.
I just want you to
I
do
wasn't
your
calling
job.
there to be a dick. I was just like,
Your
matter of
dad
fact,
cut through that by
here's
already
the-
having that information, and that's great. But at this stage,
here's the thing. I didn't even need to call her. Because if they pull up and he's not there, they just keep going.
Yeah.
I was doing them a courtesy by going, hey, he's not going to be on the bus today.
Yeah.
All right. Like I was doing that courtesy.
I get it, Jazz. I understand. However,
I hear what
everybody
you're saying.
has different roles.
Totally hear what you're saying. But but yeah, because I even asked her, I was like, do you know what bus number he's on? And she's like, it used to be 100, but I have no fucking idea now because it changes all the time. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I know the school. I know the route. I was like, that should do fine. They'll figure it out.
enough.
And then the lady gave me attitude, and I was just like, okay. Like fucking like, oh, you
Fucking
have to do your
government workers,
job.
man.
Sorry that I made you work today.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, look, Fahey, fucking there. Oh,
Yeah.
good. I'll just tell him.
Is it this one or this one? Well, only one of them goes to that school, so I'm assuming it's that one, right? You know, like shit, lady.
Jesus Christ. That's why I
Anyways.
have dogs.
Here nor there.
Well, anyway, yeah, and
Jim, what's your dog's vet's name?
Doctor he's fucking great though. I know where he went to fucking college.
I bet if I asked your wife, I bet if I asked
that's-
mom, mom fucking knows.
Yeah, it,
You know my point.
it's fucking yeah. I know the guy's a great guy. I just can't remember his fucking name right now.
Well, this has gone on too long.
It has.
My dog goes to Converse Animal Hospital. It's Dr. Fitzpatrick, who's the dog clinic there. The dog vet. Then they have another one that only does cats.
Actually, I know my vet too. Dr. Collins is a good fucking dude over here in Universal City Animal Hospital.
We
He's
go to
great.
Creekside. We go to the guy who owns Creekside. He went to Texas A&M. He's a big animal vet.
I'm a big fan of my vet. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
I'm putting my vet's fucking kids through college, so yeah.
Well, yeah, you are. Jesus. Anyways, other countries, we're not that big of dicks. I think that's really what it boils down to. We're not that big of dicks.
We just don't know what our kids do.
Yeah, we just, you know.
I knew where the school was. I just didn't remember the name of the school.
I have a vet. He does this job.
It's also way too many schools.
There is.
Like, why do we have like extra schools
I
here?
don't know. I live off Ben's Engelman, and in the 2-mile strip that runs in front of my neighborhoods, there's literally
40.
4 schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're fucking everywhere, man. Like you can't fucking
And they're all
piss in the wind
they're
and not
all
hit a school here.
Ginormous.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the level of houses and the amount of schools that I'm like,
It
there's
doesn't
no
math.
fucking way.
It doesn't matter.
There's this many kids.
Like, yeah. I don't know. And so then you have elementary school, and then there's intermediate, and then there's junior high, and then there's high. It's like, or middle, and then there's high. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like John goes to a school that's only 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah.
That's the only 2
Yeah.
grades in his school. And I'm like, that's fucking, why do we have that? Like why do you have that? Like,
Because it used to be the whole
1 through 8.
7 through 12.
Or yeah.
And then
yeah, in tiny one-horse town, sure.
No. It used to be here, and then the town got big, and then
That's probably- that's
more and
probably
more and
It
Sure.
more.
was
Yeah.
1st through 5th, 6th through 8th, and then 9 through 12.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the 3 schools. I mean, like my 9th grade year was weird, but I went to a 5A high school because I went to high school in Texas.
You know, I'm wrong.
And so 5A, we had a freshman campus, but it was literally, there was the freshman campus and the parking lot and then the main school. So it was still just like Humble High School. But there was 1,300 kids
Yeah.
in my 9th grade year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was one of those ones where the graduation took like 7 fucking hours because they've got to read. That's like, if I get it, your kid's graduating high school and you want to invite all of your friends to get, no. No, especially not when you're fucking my friend Zarzamora. Fuck off.
When graduation is like on 9/11 and they're reading all the victims' names.
Yeah.
Like if it goes that long,
It's like, well,
We're gonna
Oh,
recognize
God.
these people. Don't recognize them for shit. It's high school. None
Yeah.
of this shit matters. You're gonna hand them a fake piece of paper.
The one
and
kid
they're done.
the one kid
Nobody
that
gives
got
a
drunk
fuck
on
about what
prom
you
night
did in
and
high
died
school.
in a car accident, sure, give him his in memoriam. But other than that, fuck
Why?
out of here.
Fuck off. You didn't make it out. I don't know what to tell you.
He's got a full page in the yearbook. That's enough. So,
You didn't make it out.
no, like so it's
Doesn't matter.
It's pre-K through 5th through 4th, 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th, and then 9th through 12th.
Here.
Why don't you just take those other 2 and put them together? Do a middle school.
Property tax.
It's save the fucking
Because property. Yeah,
save
you ain't-
the fucking tax.
that's probably what it is. Shit. Anyways, this has gone on too long.
Yeah.
Sponsors are in the thing, guys. Like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons. Thanks for being my Freedom Friends, boys. I appreciate you. How was this, by the way?
It was phenomenal.
Well,
That's
good.
why I have to stop.
3 little things. They're not hard to do. Pretty simple. Jazz?
Fucking smoke on.
Drink on.
Big Jim? Yeah. And God damn it, kids.
Freedom
to
to
fuck
fuck
on. Later.